firm grasp of our body politic given almost 2 decades in Congress, my show is the fresh new home of an authentic, uncompromised quest for transformation and salvation, both personal and collectively, as I vigorously interrogate the theological and symbolic meanings embedded in our society. I promise to leverage my knowledge of history, theology, and both international and domestic issues to imagine an inclusive vision for the future, which I hope will inspire all of us to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness as a given, not just an aspiration. So join me weekdays at 12 noon right after Tavis Smiley for 2 hours of the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show, only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes 2 to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
I never couched it in Zen stuff. You know, I approached it with mindfulness.
Mindfulness, yes.
So we talked about mindfulness as being, you know, as much as we pump iron and we run to build our strength up, we need to build our mental strength up. We need to build our mental strength so we can focus, get one-pointed attention, and so that we can be in concert with one another in times of need. When you come off the court, you had a bad call, things going wrong for you, you sit on the bench, you take a breath, and you reseat yourself, you reset yourself. And you do that through this mindfulness. You just come right back in and collect yourself. So we practiced mindfulness, is what you have to do. But what did stick was meditation. That was always something that was able to stick with these guys.
So powerful.
Yeah.
I meditate every day. And I normally I do it in the mornings, and I do it for about 10 to 15 minutes. And I think it's important because it sets me up for the rest of the day. You know, it helps me. It's like having an anchor. You know, it's if I don't do it, I feel like I'm constantly chasing the day, as opposed to being able to be controlled and dictate the day. Not that you're, you know, calling the shots on what comes forward, but the fact that I am set and ready for whatever may come my way. You know, I have a calmness about whatever comes my way, and a poise, and that comes from starting the morning off with meditation.
So you would literally have the guys sit in stillness?
That's right.
Meditating?
That's right. Taught them how to hold their hands, where their shoulders had to be, the whole process of, being in upright situations so that you're not slouched and you're not going to fall asleep. And they bought into it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the voice of reason. And we heard the legendary voices of Phil Jackson. This is Los Angeles. You know what it is. Phil Jackson, Los Angeles Lakers, Kobe, Bean, Bryant, the Black Mamba, talking about meditation. Now, what's interesting about that particular story, Kobe later tells the story that it was Michael Jackson who actually got him to buy into Phil's meditation thing. The Michael Jackson, Thriller, Off the Wall, right? So it was Michael, because early on, Kobe, amazing player, of course, and Phil was trying to impress upon him, you're already great, slow down. Slow down. Let the game come to you. Stop chasing the game. Slow down. You're already great. When the game slows down, you're going to be more explosive. You're going to be more effective. Slow down. Stop chasing the game. And he told him about meditation. And Kobe wasn't all the way on board with it. And then he had a conversation with Michael Jackson. And Michael Jackson, who was into Krishnamurti and reading all of these books and all of these spiritual and metaphysical concepts, Mike was on it too. And Mike was like, no. Your coach is on to something, bro. Get on that. And so that is the motivation for tonight's topic. I've recently picked up golf. And golf is one of those mindfulness sports. It's you against the ball. It's just you out there, you on the links. And what I found out early, right? I found that in the beginning, people say, okay, hold your shoulder this way. And as a matter of fact, don't let the club move faster than your wrists, and don't do this, and shift your hips, and then widen your stance. And early on, I found myself thinking of all the little things, in order to hit that ball. But once I started to clear my mind and just focus on the ball. Don't try to hit it so hard. It's the worst thing you can do in golf is swing too fast. And no. This is not baseball. You're not swinging a bat. You're swinging a club. Let your swing for you, not your strength. The club already has loft on it. All you have to do is hit the ball correctly, and the club will do the rest. But once I quieted my mind, and I started to just zero in on the ball and not think about any instructions and what you should do, and put your right foot back and then, angle your left foot and hold on, your grip is wrong. Once I started slowing down and just looking at the ball, next thing you know, whack, I started killing it, man. And I'm proud of myself. My first ever game on the links was this past weekend, and I hit 4 bogeys. Now, if you don't know golf, you might not be interested. But a bogey is good. Listen, if I would have made the shot before the bogey, that would have been a par, which is even. And a golfer told me, hey, if you play bogey ball, you're playing pretty good. I had 4 bogeys in 9 holes. I think I did pretty good for my first time ever. Golfers out there, call in and let's talk about mindfulness. But the voice of reason here on KBLA Talk 1580 is a show about relationships. And I believe mindfulness, like yoga, like like narcissism, like love, is a bastardized term. It's a misused term. It's a misunderstood term. Whenever the West grabs something from the ancient East, the West changes it a little. Do you understand? Mindfulness is not talking about a full mind. It's really talking about an empty mind. Now, this leads us into the greats. My goodness. Tonight's topic, are you ready? Get to your phone lines. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. Mindfulness versus blindfulness. What in the Sam hell is blindfulness, Zoe? Somebody who is willfully blind, who willfully looks away from the work that is necessary in order to grow. They are blindfulness. They are blindful, I should say. This intriguing exploration delves into the process of incorporating mindfulness into the making of relationships, and particularly turning relationships into a sacred space, right? Relationships are supposed to be a sacred container, right? Where self-knowledge, self-acceptance, self-approval, self-integration, all of these things are supposed to arise out of relationships. But far too many people have inverted relationships, and they put the onus on the partner to show up and give them what they didn't get, and next thing you know, it's all about what I'm getting. Relationship is a space for sacred giving, the giving of your truth, the sharing of your truth, the cultivation of your truth, right? It's a sacred space for all of that. And I've got questions. If mindfulness is presence, then what is blindfulness? A retreat into absence or a performance of false presence? Does authentic relationship require mindfulness, or can blindfulness masquerade as intimacy until collapse? When Krishnamurti speaks of choiceless awareness, does this mean the highest relational truth arises when both partners stop trying to relate? See, if you haven't integrated, if you're not on the healing path, if you're not working towards integration, if you're not checking the self, checking in with self and checking the self, self-auditing, right? If you're not doing the healing work yourself, only your wounds can relate. That's what trauma bonding is. Only your wounds understand each other. Your insecure attachment style, your unforgiveness of your mama and father and whoever else didn't show up. That's the only thing that's relating. Let me read the question again. When Krishnamurti speaks of choiceless awareness, does this mean the highest relational truth arises when both partners stop trying to relate? If language is a map, as Alfred Korzybski argued, what happens when blindfulness causes us to confuse the relational map with the relational territory? The reality, the experience of what we're going through sometimes gets lost in translation, gets lost in the words we use. Lord have mercy. Can the ancient concept of wu-wei, effortless action, exist within relationships built on attachment wounds? Or does insecurity inevitably distort flow into a desire for control? These are deep questions. These are questions that mindfulness, as a practice that is integrated into our relationships, could help answer. Does insecure attachment create a gravitational pull into blindfulness? Willful blindness is what I'm defining blindfulness as. Does insecure attachment create a gravitational pull into blindfulness where autopilot replaces mindful presence? How many of you are going along to get along in your relationship? Are you mindful or willingly blindful? 1-800-920-1580. In what ways does blindfulness operate as a trauma-blocking defense, numbing one from the pain of relational truth? Can a monkey mind, this is how the ancient East, whether it's India, Tibet, Buddhism, right? They call it the monkey mind when the mind is constantly ruminating and thinking and judging and criticizing and negative self-talk and beating oneself up and beating others up and constantly thinking. They call it the monkey mind. Can a monkey mind ever be relationally safe? Or does busyness and distraction always destabilize trust? Do unresolved CPTSD wounds ensure that mindfulness collapses into blindfulness the moment conflict emerges? 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. Are you mindful or blindful? I want to know, what are you going through in your intimate relationships? What are you doing to them and what are you doing to yourself? Come on now, let's get to it. 1-800-920-1580. If relational flow requires nervous system regulation, according to Babette Rothschild, what sacred practices transmute dysregulation into mindfulness? To what extent is blindfulness the ego's most subtle disguise, appearing engaged while actually internally fleeing? Oh, Lord, tonight's topic, are you mindful or blindful? Willingly blind. Come on now. When we come forward, the voice of reason wants to talk to you.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you ready to be a part of the conversation that will help shape our nation's future? Get ready to join us for the Left Coast Forum, Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech, where progressive voices will come together to tackle the issues that matter most to working families across Los Angeles and beyond. From economic justice to climate action, from healthcare to housing, we're bringing together the brightest minds and most passionate advocates for real solutions and real change. With workshops, 2 major keynote addresses, and a closing reception with great music and good food. It's the Left Coast Forum, where your voice matters and your ideas take action. Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech. Brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and the LA Progressive. The future won't wait, and neither should you. Mark your calendar now to be there and be heard. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a Black and Brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. or find them on Instagram at WalkGoodLA. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
But here in the West, a lot of what people do in meditation is sit there and criticize themselves. I'm having too many thoughts. Well, the thoughts are moving too fast. Well, I'm thinking thoughts that are taboo. I'm thinking like I'm angry. I shouldn't be feeling angry. I'm turned on. I shouldn't be feeling turned on. I'm sleepy. I shouldn't be feeling sleepy. I'm thinking about food. I shouldn't be thinking about food. I'm lonely. I'm missing my friend, my boyfriend. I'm restless. I don't want to be sitting. I want to be outside. And with every thought that comes, there's like an instant judgment. You failed at meditation. So it's an epidemic of self-shaming. And we have to figure out the antidote for that.
Very interesting stuff. Meditation is to put fear in its place, and not by force, but through non-judgmental observation of fear. That's one thing fear does not want, is to be observed, is to be seen. Fear likes to control and manipulate our lives from behind the scene, right? That clip was Radiant Sutras School. You can YouTube that, Google it, look it up. Radiant Sutras School. Look it up and tell me what you think. You can watch the entire video. We just wanted to get a clip of it just to see your thoughts on it. I've got callers on the line. They're in here. Let's get them in here right now. We got Annie from Baldwin Park. Annie, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Hi. I heard a piece about mindfulness and blindfulness, and I'm kind of going through it with a relationship of my own, and I haven't spoken to my partner. We've been together for about 3.5 years. We haven't spoken in probably about a month, and I feel as though my insecurities and my attachment style has definitely pushed him away.
And what's the attachment style, if I may ask?
I would say more of a insecure, very anxious attachment style. To my partner, and over the years, it's just been getting worse. And so the piece about, mindfulness and mindfulness, and I feel like I've been trying to practice that a little bit, the mindfulness, but I've been thinking I've been trying to practice it and being more self-aware. And looking back now, I've been trying to overanalyze everything, and I think I've gotten to a point where, maybe the past year, I actually feel like our relationship has a lot of blindfulness to it and a lot of holes, and kind of been faking it till we make it, and now we're at this point where I'm like overanalyzing everything, and it's clear to me that it isn't what it was. And
no, listen, Annie,
yeah.
I'm in here with you. We're anxious, preoccupied together. I'm going to walk this walk with you. So, again, anxious folk, we were raised in a home where, our parents were in and out, inconsistent in terms of emotional attunement. They didn't catch every need that we needed. And we found ourselves, anxious for their attention, anxious for their approval. Now, according to John Bowlby, we carry this attachment style into our adult relationships, and we turn into somewhat of a chaser when there's a problem.
Yeah.
A chaser and a fixer. Let me fix it. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it. Let's work through it. Right? The problem with that is we also attract our relational opposite, the dismissive avoidant type, who run from intimacy. You see? So I'm sure you've heard of that concept, relationship as a mirror, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's being reflected back to you? Don't answer. Don't answer. Hold that thought. Annie from Baldwin Park is in the house. When we come forward, we're going to get her answer. Let's go.
It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Black Mayor Eric Adams says New York City's war on rats is paying off, with 311 sightings down 8 straight months.
You would never get rid of the rat population if you didn't get the garbage bags off our streets. We've done that.
Since new trash container rules took effect, about 75% of garbage is now in bins, with residents buying over 800,000 official containers. Rapper Doechii is pulling out of several European festivals, including All Points East in London and Forwards in Bristol. Organizers apologized for the sudden cancellations, though no reason was given. Doechii, who just announced her Live from the Swamp tour, has not addressed the schedule change. And a 5th person has died from Legionnaire's disease in Harlem, with over 100 confirmed cases. Health officials say infections are slowing after treating cooling towers tied to the July outbreak. Reverend Al Sharpton and an attorney plan to announce a lawsuit Wednesday. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Is your concrete cracking? Is your uneven walkway dangerous? Do you need to level that concrete porch or patio? Contact Groundworks, the concrete lifting experts. Riverside, get your free inspection today. Learn more at groundworks.com.
Hi, I'm Jesse Jackson Jr., inviting you to join me weekdays at 12 noon, right after Tavis Smiley, here on KBLA Talk 1580. As a law school graduate and a theologian, with a firm grasp of our body politic given almost 2 decades in Congress, my show is the fresh new home of an authentic, uncompromised quest for transformation and salvation, both personal and collectively, as I vigorously interrogate the theological and symbolic meanings embedded in our society. I promise to leverage my knowledge of history, theology, and both international and domestic issues to imagine an inclusive vision for the future, which I hope will inspire all of us to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness as a given, not just an aspiration. So join me weekdays at 12 noon right after Tavis Smiley for 2 hours of the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yo, it's Zoe Williams, the VOR, and I know you're tired of pretty gems with pretty lies, where people seem to scroll more than they sweat. Well, it's time to level up. Welcome to Huff and Puff, where excuses die and champions rise. Smack dab at 1221 North La Brea on the corner of Fairview. This ain't a photo shoot, it's a battleground. Certified achievers in the game. Trainers who grind with you, not post pictures beside you. Whether you're chasing your next personal record or just trying to outrun your past, this is your sanctuary of sweat. No mirrors, no filters, no fluff, just pain, passion, and purpose. Stop talking, start training, huff hard, puff loud, be legendary. Where folks go to war with their weaknesses. Huff and Puff.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that for Bree's car.
Just right, just right, just right. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency, all over Bree's car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. Breathe happy for Breeze. La 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 la.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has worksource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
And it's not that viewpoint, by the way, isn't limited to the Judeo-Christian canon. You see the same thing in the Taoist representation, because in the Taoist world you have a domain of order, that's the black serpent, and you have a domain of chaos. Sorry, I have it reversed. The domain of order is the white serpent, and the domain of chaos or possibility is the black serpent in the Taoist image, the two snakes, head to tail. And your job is to walk the line between them. And you can tell when you're walking that line because that's where things are maximally meaningful. And so that's another element of this vision, which is that if you orient yourself with upward aim and you straddle the line between order and chaos, then things become maximally meaningful around you. So, and Musk, I just did a podcast with Elon Musk, and he talked about resolving his existential crisis, the existential crisis that he experienced when he was about 11 or 12. It was a crisis of faith, essentially. And the way that he resolved that and then motivated himself so intensely was by understanding that if he pursued the path of the expansion of knowledge, that would be intrinsically meaningful. That's the path of growth.
You already know who that is. That's Jordan Peterson on the Joe Rogan podcast. And he's talking about that middle path. That's a Buddhic thought, the middle path, right? If you read the Eightfold Path and the Dharmapada and the other works of Buddha, you will hear about the middle path. And again, even the Quran speaks of the straight and narrow pathway. In the Quran, it's Adina Siratul Mustaqim. Guide me along the straight and narrow path that the ancients walked before me. The masters walked before me. That is the Quran, this middle path. Many of us struggle to get to the middle path. The middle path is because we haven't looked inward. I don't believe it's about the acquisition of knowledge, because there's two types of knowledge. There's technical knowledge, the knowledge to create a chair, a television, a cell phone, a table, right? That's technical knowledge. Practical knowledge we use to build a house. But psychological knowledge, the knowledge of self, that is the crucial part that will get us to this internal healing. Modern day Western clinicians will tell us it's about individuation. Did you see the iconography in Jordan Peterson's description? Right? You had the white snake and the black snake. Oh, that's yin and yang. Is that the same as Carl Jung, the mask and the shadow? Yes. It's all still there. It's all still here for you to conquer. I got to get back to Annie, Baldwin Park. She was cooking. I love what she was laying down. So, Annie, are you struggling to call him? Are you struggling to leave him alone?
Yeah, I am. And I actually reached out probably about a week ago, but I haven't responded because I feel like I need to hold on to that little bit of dignity that I have left.
Mm-hmm.
He tends to do this where we're good for a couple months. We'll get into an argument. It doesn't have to necessarily be a big argument, but
well, let me just say this: is he an avoidant?
He is very avoidant.
Okay, so typically, and He should go to therapy. You should go to therapy as well. But typically, avoidance don't like tough conversations, difficult conversations. They view it as conflict.
Yeah.
Right? So you're trying to figure it out and work it out, and that's seen as smothering, that's seen as an attack, and if your tone or delivery isn't right, shut down, deactivation.
Right? Yeah, 100%.
So I would say to you, go find a great therapist. Stand your ground, because the strength for an AP is to do what you have conditioned, is to do the opposite of what you've conditioned yourself to do. You've conditioned yourself to say, let's fix it. Let's work it out. Because that's what you did with your parents. Let's talk. Hey, you see, I got an A. Look, I made the drill team. Hey, you're trying to get them to become emotionally attuned to you.
Yeah.
So I'm encouraging you. I'm with you. I was there not long ago. I was there. And I'm going to tell you, the best thing you can do is pull back. And don't pull back for a reaction. Don't pull back hoping that they'll call you, hoping that they'll re-engage. Damn all of that. Pull back for who? Who? You tell me. Pull back for who?
Yeah, for me.
Come, hey man, if you don't put on Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal, we should have been hearing, Annie, are you okay this whole time, man? Annie, you got to do it for you. You have to do it for you. Okay?
Yeah, that's where I'm starting to realize and I feel more calmness. Yeah.
I got a book for you.
Yeah.
Come on. I got a book for you, Annie. The book is called Guilt is the Teacher, Love is the Lesson by Joan Borysenko, PhD. Joan Borysenko. Guilt is the teacher, love is the lesson. Right?
Got it.
Great book. And then there's one other. The Self-Esteem Workbook by Glenn R. Schiraldi. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so I got a question. Guess what you just did, Annie?
I don't
All right.
know.
So I need you to keep calling in, Annie. This is the rule. If I ask you, guess what you just did? You say, I brought Baldwin Hills or Baldwin Park in the building. That's what you tell us. You brought Baldwin Park in the building. So I'm going to do it again. We're going to do it again. Annie, guess what you just did?
I brought Baldwin Park in the building.
Hey, Baldwin Park is on deck. Listen, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. The VOR is on complete fire.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least like to oppose in any litigation litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at quinemanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach? Transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal? Prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Once upon a time, there was a fish who lived his whole life in the great ocean. But because the water was so clear, and because it always slipped aside whenever his nose pressed against it, he never realized he was in the ocean at all. To him it seemed as if he was gliding through empty space, moving by his own cleverness. The water carried him, pushed gently against his tail, so he could move forward, held him up so he wouldn't sink. But he never noticed. Then one day, the fish did something dangerous. He started thinking, wow, how remarkable I must be to be moving all by myself in the middle of nothing. But once he began to think about swimming, something went wrong. You know how it is. If you stop to think about breathing, or about walking naturally, suddenly it feels awkward.
Come on, mindfulness.
The same happened to the fish. He became self-conscious. His strokes felt clumsy. And then he looked down. For the first time, he saw the endless, black depths yawning beneath him, and terror struck him. What if I forget how to swim? What if I just drop and sink forever into that darkness? Panic filled him, and in his desperation, he thought of a plan. If I could just grab my own tail with my mouth, I could hold myself up. I wouldn't fall. So he curled himself tightly and snapped at his tail, but his spine wouldn't bend far enough. He missed. Not ready to give up, he tried again. And again. Round and round he spun, chasing his tail in frantic circles. The faster he chased, the more he felt the terrible pull of that abyss below him. The more afraid he became, the harder he spun. Time passed, and his world became nothing but dizzy circles, frustration, and fear. He was exhausted, disgusted, and yet too terrified to stop, for he was certain that if he paused for even a moment, he would fall into the darkness. His life had become a nightmare of meaningless effort, and still he kept spinning. Now, the great ocean had been watching this little fish all along, with a mixture of amusement and pity. The ocean loved all its creatures. It gave them space to live, to dart and dance freely. It held them up without asking for thanks, always slipping away from their noses, so they could move easily, and always pushing gently at their tails, so they could glide through its vastness. But here was this poor fish, convinced he was swimming all by himself, and working himself into madness over nothing. So at last, the ocean spoke. "What are you doing, little one?" "I'm terrified," cried the fish. "I'm trying to catch my tail to keep myself from falling into that terrible abyss." The ocean calmly replied, "You've been trying that for quite a while, yet you haven't caught your tail, and you haven't fallen either. How do you explain that?" The fish blurted, still panting, "Because I'm swimming, of course. Don't bother me. Can't you see I'm busy saving myself?" The ocean laughing, "Oh? And how is it you have been able to swim through all of this nonsense, spinning round and round without falling once? I am the ocean in which you live, move, and are able to be a fish. I hold you up all the time. I have given you the height, the depth, the length, and the breadth of myself in which to swim. Yet instead of exploring, you have been wasting your life chasing your own tail." Asterisk. The fish stopped. For the first time since his panic began, he loosened his body and looked around. He wasn't falling. He wasn't sinking. Even though he had stopped moving, he was still floating, held by something invisible and vast. Then the truth dawned on him. It was the ocean that carried him all along. It always had. A deep calm.
Come on, man. Alan Watts! The voice of reason is on complete fire. We're talking about mindfulness versus blindfulness. And you guys know how this show goes. Typically, I'm 35, 40 minutes into the setup, explaining and questions. But the phone lines have been jumping this whole time, man, because people want to talk about it. Let me get the callers in here right now. T-Money from Detroit, Michigan. Hey, man, what's happening? Talk to me. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
What up, though? Great brother Zoe.
What up, though? Man, I'm good.
Hey.
So what
Man,
are your
great to
thoughts,
hear
my
from
friend?
you.
Talk to me, man. How you
Hey,
feeling?
I start with this one. After the fire bursts, pleasure that doesn't remain without pain. I
Yeah.
say that to say it gets greater later, right?
It gets greater later, man. You better keep dropping them jewels, brother. That's what this show is for. So,
Thank you, sir. I pose a question for you. Can I ask you a question, please?
absolutely.
In regards to this topic of blindfulness, could this possibly be a byproduct of the aspect of shame that becomes associated with facing accountability through a victimized mindset?
Yes, because the reason why we created this monstrosity of a word called blindfulness is because it's full of shame and guilt. So if shame and guilt is the fuel for the blindness, there's a willingness to look away from your part in it. You're blindful, right? You're not mindful. Mindfulness is non-judgmental, right? That's it.
Absolutely.
Like a lot of people don't know the difference between detachment and non-attachment. It's easy to walk away and run from people and say, I'm never going to talk to you again. Detachment is ghosting, just classy. It's like classy ghosting. Non-attachment is to remain present without any intent. I don't want anything from you. I don't want you to change. I'm just going to be present in this process as it continues to unfold. That's non-attachment. Do you see? Mindfulness works the same way. What are you mindful of? Yourself? Does that make sense, brother?
Oh, absolutely. And so for the healing purpose, because I know sometimes, you drop bombs on us, from way far, but this ain't Hiroshima. This actually a Hiroshima of love, if that makes sense. When they don't want to call
a Nagasaki of love. Come on.
You understand me? So,
right.
So I would say they say that they tend to. I want to be quick because I know we wanted it to the last hour.
Mm-hmm.
We say that the triangle is the strongest shape, correct?
Mm-hmm.
According to certain thoughts. So I propose 3 V's of life and healing and relationship.
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 V's. You're either going to be a villain of your own choices, a victim of your own choices, or victorious through your own choices.
Man, hey,
no.
You don't get to do us like this. Hold tight. Listen, don't go nowhere. Detroit is in the house. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me right now, 1-800-920-1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Black Mayor Eric Adams says New York City's war on rats is paying off with 311 sightings down 8 straight months.